amazing music. And like I said, it's so fun to dress up for. It's easy to run into people. Like I just have such a good time and such good memories. It's so much fun. I really, really enjoy this festival. And it gives me that, like, you know, I'm such a big EDC Vegas fan. It gives me that energy of EDC that I miss. So that's like the other crazy thing. So I'm pumped to be back at festivals, but it's so much fun. You guys are going to have a blast. Hey guys, welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I am your host, Emma Capotis. We are in a new location today, fam. To be honest with you, I'm a mom now, and my son is sleeping, and this is the only time I have to record. So I've fully moved all my setup downstairs into my like dining room, but honestly, it's a vibe. I've got my fall background here. All my Halloween decorations are up. It's spooky season. It's my favorite time of year, honestly, and I couldn't be more excited to be here talking about EDC Orlando. So whether you are a first timer, you're a returning vet, you just want to get hyped for the festival, that's what today's episode is all about. I am going to be returning for my 4th EDC Orlando. So excited. I've had this on my radar for a while, but it kind of like just came together in the last few weeks. And I'm going to be working it for Beatbox Beverages. So I'll tell you guys all about that in a little bit. But what's in store today is a full guide. I have talked about EDCO on my podcast. I've done festival recaps and reviews, but I realized I never really gave you a guide. So today we're going to talk about everything you need to know, like where to stay, transportation options, the festival facts, what to expect, what to bring, weather, like basically everything you need to know to be prepared for EDC Orlando. So that's what we're going over today, excuse me. If you guys need tickets, please feel free to use my Insomniac affiliate link down below. If you want to buy through a friend, I very much appreciate it. I earn commission on those links, and that helps me create my content and keep going. So thank you guys so much for doing that. I'll leave that link down below. So let's just dive into things, guys. I'm going to kind of do like my background and my plans for the trip and the festival, talk about meetups a little bit, where you can find me, and then we'll dive into like the full guide, and I'm going to break this down. I also forgot to mention, I posted a poll on my stories, and you guys asked me questions as well. So I have all of your questions. So we're just going to be like hitting those as we go along too. So I'm pumped, guys. Grab a snack, grab a drink, sit back. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it, like, subscribe, do all the things. We are at Rave Culture Cast on all platforms, so come hang out with us. All right, so first up, I just want to dive into my background with EDCO. I'll touch on this lightly, but again, I mentioned this is my 4th EDCO. I've gone 3 times. First time was 2019, and then I did 2021 and 2022. I skipped last year because I was still on my maternity leave, but I've talked about this so many times. I think this festival is the best bang for your buck. I think GA passes right now are like $253, like around there, the last I checked, for a 3-day festival that has production like very similar to what you would expect at all of Insomniac events. A lot of the stages are the same from EDC Vegas. Some are completely new and different. It's like, I would say like a medium to large size festival. It's gotten bigger over the years, but it's just such a good bang for your buck. I've always said this. And it's just, I keep coming back, obviously, for a reason. There's few that I do now that I like return to over and over again, and it's just like it's easy to navigate. The terrain, like some of it's a parking lot, some of it's on grass, but it's pretty flat. The stages are all easy to navigate and get around to. There's always good food and drink options. It's very like, you know, EDC over the top outfits, like everyone dresses up to the nines, which I fucking love. I love festival fashion. The production is so good. There's so much music. Like the lineup covers every genre, and it's in a city, so it's really not that hard to get to. Like I'll talk about where I'm staying, but I'm about like a 20 minute Uber away. So I mean, sometimes I just love a city festival. It's just easy to go to. And this one doesn't end that late as well, which we love that because I'm a grandma now. So there are after options, there are pre-party options, all that good stuff that we'll talk about. But yeah, I just have to say overall, it just hits on all the notes for me. So that's why I always come back to EDCO. I'm also in New Jersey, so this is not like that bad of a flight to go down to Florida. It's not that expensive, and it takes me like 2.5 hours to get there. So we love that for me. So EDCO kind of, again, basically what had happened was I was going to go to Seismic Dance event this year, and then EDCO was on my radar as well. And those are both back-to-back weekends in November. And personally for me, I just had a trip where I was away from my son for a couple days in a row. And honestly, when I was on the trip, I just was extremely homesick, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing 2 weekends in a row. I can't. Like, I miss my son too much. I'm so attached to him. So like, people ask how I balance like momhood. It's freaking hard. It's hard, but I know that this is my job and it's what I love to do, and it's good for me to go and still live my life and have those like independent things. So anyway, so I decided to nix Seismic Dance event. Unfortunately, that one was going to be like completely for fun. And once this happened, like EDCO is one of our biggest festivals for beatbox. We sponsor it every year, and I'm the senior community manager. So we're hosting a couple really fun events at our activation. And I was like, you know what, I would rather go and like host those events. So I'll talk a little bit about that. One of the first meetups I'm hosting is our Beatbox Fam meetup. So if you guys are in a community or not, if you just want to come say hi, it's going to be Saturday, November 29th, Saturday, November 9th. At 4:30 p.m. at the Beatbox activation. So our activation is essentially like our sponsored area. It's marked on the map. You'll see like a Beatbox logo on the map. That is our main activation. And then otherwise we're like sold at all the bars. But Saturday, 4:30 p.m., come say hi at the Beatbox booth. And then right after that at 5 p.m., this was a fun idea that we had conceptualized that I just wanted to see come to life. But we pitched doing a totem competition. So essentially anybody can enter this, but if you guys want, you can make your own beatbox totem, go all out, have so much fucking fun with it. And then if you come to our activation, same time, Saturday, 5 p.m., so it's right after the fam meetup, you can be entered to win a bunch of prizes. So we're going to be judging the totems based on like quality, creativity, sense of humor, and we're going to give out a bunch of prizes for your beatbox totem. So I'm going to be judging that with my coworker Taylor, and that's going to be so fucking fun. Keep them appropriate, okay? We are an alcohol company, but they need to be appropriate. Don't reference any children or children's cartoons. Like, that will not qualify. So be responsible with the totems you're making and appropriate. But anyway, so yeah, I'm really freaking excited about that. I think that's going to be so much fun. So those are the two main things I'm hosting. And then I'm working on a couple other like fun little get-togethers and stuff like that. And possibly popping over to Insomniac Radio again, which is awesome. So many fun things going on. That's why I'm going to be at EDCO this year. Anything else? The other things I will say about it, just to get you more hype, again, if this is your first time, so excited for you. So, I mean, when I look back on the EDC Orlandos that I've done, they were all like very different and different times in my life too, but so freaking special. And I just remember, honestly, like a lot of the sets were some of the best sets I've ever seen in my life. Like 2019 was a special year, but 2021 I think was the year that Circuit Grounds has changed a little bit. It's a lot more bass heavy now, but there was one day, it was on Sunday, that it was like Nora and Pure into Chris Lake, into Seven Lions, into Eric Prydz, and then the night ended with Zoo. It was like the most fucking insane back to back at that stage. So like the music is just top tier. I'm a big fan of Stereo Bloom, like Insomniac Records, which is the house label, is over there. Dream State has a takeover there. Just amazing music. And like I said, it's so fun to dress up for. It's easy to run into people. Like I just have such a good time and such good memories. It's so much fun. I really, really enjoy this festival. And it gives me that, like, I'm such a big EDC Vegas fan. It gives me that energy of EDC that I miss, because that was the last festival I actually did this year, was Vegas in May. I haven't done a festival since Vegas. I took a little break. So that's like the other crazy thing. So I'm pumped to be back at festivals, but it's so much fun. You guys are going to have a blast. So let's talk about, the map is not out yet as of the time. I'm going to pull up the website, but again, for me, I think so much will be new because I skipped last year. So, when I went in 2022, there were so many changes. And then in 2023, there were even more changes to the layout, and they're always expanding things and like working on them. So I want to see if I can find the EDC Orlando map from last year. Just want to specify, if I pop up a picture here, this is not this year's map. But yeah, they've gotten rid of like some of the stages that they used to have. They had like sponsored areas like Corona Electric Beach, if anybody remembers. That was one of my favorite like little vibey areas. I don't think they have that anymore. They got rid of it. They've expanded certain areas, and typically, so the main stage design is the same as EDC Vegas. So that's always amazing that they spend so much time and energy building them. So it's the same theme and the same design, which is awesome. The design this year was Kinetic Circle, and it was beautiful. Circuit Grounds is usually a different design from Vegas, which I love because I always look forward to seeing what they do. So Circuit Grounds is kind of like your secondary big main stage, I would say. Then you have Neon Garden, which is your techno. There will also be some house, but mainly techno. That also can differ. This year in Vegas, it was a mega structure again, which was so fucking sick. So I'm very much hoping it's a mega structure because I love when Neon Garden is a mega structure. So you have that. You have Stereo Bloom, like I mentioned. That's typically the exact same design as Vegas. That's house for most of the weekend. And then there's a Dream State takeover where you'll get your trance fix in. Oh my gosh, where are the other stages? I'm blanking right now. What else do we have? You have all the art cars here, most of the art cars at least, which is cool. So you'll get like surprise sets on there. Those all have different vibes. And then you have the different like themed areas, which are like art installations, just like interactive installations, branded areas. So you have Polygon Park, you have Pixel Forest, which is really cool. So much fun, like art and things like that. The Rainbow Bazaar, then like you have tons of vendors, food, everything. Sorry if you can hear my dog Ollie. Again, we're just rolling with the punches. I'm filming in my kitchen, so he can see the Amazon guy delivering a package right now. Hold on. Anyways, okay, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I got excited and I started diving into the map, but all of that is to say I am very excited to see what changes they have to the map. I'll talk a little bit about VIP later because I think that's like a fun thing to touch on, but I do remember like they switched up the entrances last year, so I'm curious what they do there, but I will do a separate video on TikTok when the new map comes out, so look forward to that. All right, well, let's just dive into the festival facts. So this is everything you need to know about EDC Orlando. So it takes place at Tinker Field, which is at 287 South Tampa Ave in Orlando, Florida. It is November 8th, 9th, and 10th, so it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday festival, and the hours are 1 p.m. to 12 a.m. daily, which again, really long. That's almost 12-hour festival, guys. Like, that's crazy. It's a very long festival. I highly recommend going early. I like being there. Like, I'm usually there by 2, I would say. I just like being there for the full day. And I typically stay till the very end. Again, very happy it ends at 12 a.m. I think that's a great time. You're going to hit a little bit of traffic leaving. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And then weather-wise, like, it's Florida. It's going to be pretty freaking hot. So typically during the day of those early hours, it's hot. You do have a box office and will call if you guys need anything for that. And it's in a relatively, the area can be a little bit sketchy, like right around Orlando. I wouldn't recommend like walking around too much or walking too far, but you do have a couple of different options as far as where to stay. So for me personally, I've always stayed near like Universal Orlando. If you guys know where that is, I'm going to pull up a map of Tinkerfield right now. There's like plenty of places you can stay directly around it if you want a shorter drive. Like some of my coworkers are staying like a little bit north of Tinkerfield. I have personally always stayed south of Tinkerfield. I'm always going to recommend this. If you go on EDC Orlando's website and you click on their shuttles and their hotel options, I always recommend like going to one of their hotels that are on the shuttle line and taking a shuttle. I just think shuttles are so easy. It's really nice to meet people. You have a designated driver. They typically like pull right up to the front of the festival and it's easy to find. You're not sitting there waiting on Ubers, which I've waited over an hour to get an Uber. Not a good situation in 2021, I think that was. So I highly recommend going on the website, checking out the recommended hotels. If not, there's like a million hotels right next to the shuttle line stops. Pick one that's next to it. It might be cheaper. So that's kind of what we did. We're like over near the Universal area, about, like I said, 15-20 minute drive. And I think either my coworker is driving us every day because she has a staff parking pass, or we'll maybe Uber. But again, leaving the festival and Ubering, not fun. Completely doable. I've done it a bunch of times, but I would recommend shuttles over Ubers personally. So those are your options. So yeah, and again, if you want to do things outside of EDC Orlando, like you have Disney, you have Universal, like there's a million things to do, which is really, really fun. So many different attractions. But I would say a lot of people probably stay south. You also have home base, which I've talked about in years prior. I did home base in 2021. Home base is like basically like a all-in-one, like your pre-parties, after parties. You can stay, it's a hotel, you can stay there. They shuttle you to and from EDC Orlando. It's not affiliated with Insomniac. It's its own like entity, but home base was a great time when I went. And then I did Slumberland in 2022, which was like a very similar concept, but it is no longer, I believe, which sucks. But yeah, great experience. Again, I honestly may end up going to one of the afters at home base, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. But home base is like in that Universal area right next to like the shuttle stops that EDC is doing. So again, I would probably recommend that area a little bit south of Tinkerfield, kind of like in the Universal area. And then, like I mentioned, I covered all transportation. Again, have a designated driver, please, if you're going to drive or anything like that. And again, there are some like lots you can park in, but use your discretion. People have had their cars broken into, they've had windows smashed, they've had things stolen. This is a very big pickpocket festival. I'm just saying that now. So many people get their phones and wallets stolen here. So I didn't plug them already, but I work with Lunchbox. 10 out of 10 recommend. Hydration pack for sure. The OG hydration pack I've used since 2019. We also have our mini backpack, which I'm obsessed with. We have our Lunchbox Light, our phone satchel, our snack and sling pack, like literally take your pick. But 10 out of 10 recommend that just to have like an anti-theft bag on you, and then also staying hydrated. So I'll link all my codes below, but any orders over $99, you can use my last name, Capotis, and that'll save you $15 off any orders over $99. Or if you get one of the small bags, my code is Emma K for anything like other than that. So yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend that. Just be advised. Otherwise, I would say shuttles, and then you have Ubers or a Lyft. What to pack. So I touched on this a little bit, but your outfits, like go all out, ladies, gentlemen, whatever you want to wear. It is very much like, you could go super chill if you want to, but it is very much the same energy as EDC Vegas. People go all out with their outfits. I always have a lot of fun with this. Like I said, I'm working this year, so I'll show you guys some examples. I think I have like a romper situation with like a mesh shrug that I'm wearing in combat boots. Then I have a full like cat suit moment. I think I always bring backups because I couldn't wear that to Vegas because it was so fucking hot. So if it's the same case again, then your girl's not wearing a full ass rhinestone cat suit. So we're going to bring some backups. And then, oh my God, what's my final outfit? I'm like completely blanking. What's my last outfit? I'm going to show you guys when I can. I don't think I really bought a lot of new stuff. I was like, I'm tapped out on my spending right now. Oh, actually, I bought one new thing. I bought the Suspects Rebel play suit. If you know, you know. It's so cute. So it's another romper situation. So I'm going with a lot of rompers this year and a lot of black, honestly, but it's very like rainbow neon bright. Wear comfortable shoes for sure. Again, pay attention to the weather. I have been at EDCO when it's rained. I've been there when it's like 85 degrees and sunny and I'm sweating through my bodysuit, like everything you can possibly imagine. So do pack like ponchos for sure. I always carry a poncho on me and just watch the weather. And then pay attention to shoes, because I remember one time it like poured and I only had my like white glitter Stomper platform boots and they were fucking ruined after that because they were just covered in mud. So yeah, I'm going to wear like black combat boots this year probably. And then essentials, pretty much everything you need is going to be in there, but I would bring a hand fan for sure. It gets super hot. Do not forget your earplugs. Definitely earplugs. I usually bring like mini hand wipes, hand sanitizer, sunglasses for sure. Gum, chapstick, like all the essentials you would normally need. And then like my hydration pack or my mini backpack is probably what I'm going to bring. So all the essentials you would typically bring into a festival, and trinkets. Don't forget trinkets. I always love giving out like gifts and fun things like that. If you are going to do the totem, definitely look at their acceptable and prohibited items guide on their website. They also have a totem etiquette section, and that lets you know like what you can use. So again, if you're going to do the beatbox totem competition, just look at all of the instructions on that. And then I think that's the main things. I already went over the hours of the festival. So now I'm kind of going to be getting into just like the general festival questions and like what the experience is like, what you can expect. I'm going to pull up your poll so I can look at the questions that you guys asked, and we'll get into the nitty gritty. Okay, so the first question that I got is, it's my first time going to EDC Orlando. What are your best tips? So again, I think with all the preparation out of the way, I think if you're staying within like a shorter drive and you're taking your shuttle passes and you have that all checked out, you're paying attention to the weather. So making sure you're prepared if it's going to be super hot, even bringing layers, and staying hydrated 100% here, eat a full meal, like all my Rave mom tips that I would typically give you. Making sure you stop by the End Overdose tent, get some Narcan just to have that on you. But yeah, I would say just be prepared, arrive early, and then have a game plan for leaving is my biggest tip, because I feel like the things that tripped me up the most were leaving with a flood of people at the end of the night trying to call an Uber, and I had no cell service, and I got stuck there for like an hour waiting for an Uber. So my best tips are shuttles. I would also say if you have the budget and you want to, it is not necessary to get VIP, but I do like VIP at EDC Orlando. So why don't we actually talk about that a little bit? I'll dive into the VIP experience. So I can't even remember. I think I probably did GA the first year, and then I did VIP the last 2 years, which has been awesome. Again, not necessary, but there are VIP sections at all of the stages, which is really nice. My favorite is over near Circuit Grounds. There is, at Tinker Field, there is like a stadium. We don't go in it for anything, but they take advantage of it in the VIP area at Circuit Grounds. It's huge. They rope off a huge section of the stage, typically on stage left. If you're looking at the stage, it's on the right. You use the stadium bathrooms, and then there's a huge VIP locker section. So typically I get a locker in the VIP area at Circuit Grounds, and I've loved that. And there's food vendors, there's places to sit, there's drinks, so I just have always liked that area. VIP at Kinetic is also like very, very large as well. We were in there a lot in 2022. Same thing, like trailer bathrooms, which is nice. You always have like a separate entrance too. Doesn't really matter for me because I go so early, so I feel like GA lines are not that crazy. But Neon Garden VIP was great for me. At this point, I just do it because of the convenience of like being able to run in and out of a bathroom, having separate bars and food. You don't have to like go out into the main area, and it just makes things like easier to navigate. So I've always really liked VIP personally. It is pricier. Like, let me see the cost of VIP right now. And again, not worth it. Like I said, if it's your first festival or anything like that, GA 1000%, you guys don't have to stress about that. But if you are thinking about it or you're on the fence, I personally do like it. Right now, the 3-day VIP is $504. Or if you want a single day VIP, it's $226. Let me see if there's anything else I missed. I think I covered everything. Oh, you have separate water refill stations. That's also really nice, so you don't have to wait on like a super long line. But I think everything else is included. You have like beauty bars and like other little things that you can participate in. Let's see. How easy are the grounds to navigate? How long does it take to get from stage to stage? So great question. Like I mentioned, it's still a big festival. Like if you're at Kinetic Field and you want to go all the way over to Circuit Grounds, like it may take you 15 minutes to walk over there just because the crowd is so dense at a lot of those stages. But overall, it is not nearly as spread out as Vegas. A lot of people ask me to do a comparison of both, and I can save that for the end. But it doesn't take that long. Those are probably on the opposite ends. Circuit Grounds is kind of like off on its own. So just factor in how dense the crowd is, how close you are to the front of the stage. But overall, pretty easy to navigate. I feel like the only areas that people get confused about are like where Stereo Bloom is. There's a lake with a bridge that goes over it. So just study the map and like figure out all the little like shortcuts, because you might end up walking like the long way around and there was like a bridge or something that you could have cut through. So just make sure you check out all those little things. Somebody said, what are your favorite stages? So at this point for EDC, it differs than Vegas because Vegas just has like a different energy and there's more stages. But honestly, at EDCO, I kind of like the smaller stages. Stereo Bloom is a fucking vibe. I've had some of my favorite sets at EDCO, but also Neon Garden, especially if it's a mega structure. And then circuit grounds just based on production, depending on what they do with it. It's always a new stage and I love to see what they do. But like I said, it's a very bass heavy. And I think Friday and Saturday are primarily bass and dubstep, which is like not my jam. So I think I'll probably be only be at circuit grounds, for like Sunday this year. But let me make a note of that. We can also go through some lineup recommendations in a little bit. Okay, what are some other aspects of the festival that make it unique? So I would say the art installation sections are really, really cool. I would definitely take some time just to like chill, even if you grab food and like go sit in Polygon Park. The art cars are really fun. I highly recommend. Just explore. Don't have such like a rigid schedule. Like make sure you go stop and check out an art car. If you're walking by and you hear something you like, go listen. Vendors. So there is like a vendor village area. I've gotten my hair braided at EDC Orlando. So if that's something you're interested in, usually you can book appointments. I did it through Squad Goals Beauty. I'm not sure who's on site this year, but yeah, there's like I've bought pashminas, like there's plenty of like vendors you could do stuff at. So if you like want to get your hair braided on site, honestly, I may look into that. Maybe I'll get my hair braided on Sunday. Harm reduction, there is end overdose on site. So please pop over there. You can learn how to administer Narcan. They give out free Narcan. So that's important. And again, just look out for others, like, pay attention, be aware of your surroundings. If somebody needs something, water, gum, like whatever it is, just, help people out. The drone show and fireworks, I will mention. I'm sure there were some last year because in 2022, I think the drone show was new. It's like there are not fireworks like in Vegas, but they do, use pyrotechnics and they do use fireworks a little bit at main stage and at circuit grounds. But the drone show was such a nice addition. I fucking love a drone show. It's so cool. And I don't know, it's just really special. And it's like one of those fun moments where it pops up like overhead over kinetic field. It's sick. So I think that makes it very special as well. How is the crowd at EDC Orlando? Honestly, I feel like the crowd is a vibe. I've had great experiences. Like, of course, it's a big festival and you do have a lot of young people. So you might run into people who are messed up or it's their first festival. So they haven't learned plur, or they don't really know crowd etiquette. So like, let those be teachable moments. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Lead by example in those situations. But overall, it's like a really fun party atmosphere. And yeah, you still get that plur vibe from people that I feel like at EDC Vegas. So I think the crowd is really, really fun. I've always gone with like a big group. So this is the first time I'm not going with like my usual Rave fam. I'm literally going with like my coworker and I'll know like a couple people when I see them. So yeah, it's going to be a different vibe, but it's always it's good crowd. I like EDCO a lot. Would you recommend getting a locker? Yes, personally, I'm a locker hoe these days. I don't do a festival without a locker because I carry a lot of shit and I bring layers and I have equipment. So I always do a locker. And like I said, I typically do the VIP lockers at circuit grounds. How is the food inside the festival? Y'all already know I get island noodles almost every single day. I fuck with island noodles. I got my carbs, I got my veggies, I got my protein. Okay, it's got everything that I need. But no, food is good at EDCO. There is one section, I forget the name of it, kind of like in the center of the festival that has like a ton of vendors and a lot of like, I think it might be Polygon Park, honestly. But yeah, food is really, really good. There's a lot over by circuit grounds as well. I feel like I've gotten like orange chicken and rice before, pizza, smoothies. They usually have good cocktails, but of course Beatbox is sold and our Orange Blast flavor is going to be there, which is our newest flavor, and it's fire. It's like my top 2 favorite flavors, guys. It's so fucking good. So that's probably going to sell out. So yeah, lots of food, lots of drinks, plenty of places to explore for that. How is traffic leaving the festival? I kind of touched on that already, but traffic leaving the festival is pretty rough. If you have shuttles, again, I think that's an easy option because you can just like, you'll see the signs of like where those parks that you can get on those and they keep those going. But if you are going to do an Uber, I know you don't want to hear this, but I would leave at least 15 minutes before the show ends just to get a head start out of there personally. So leave a little bit on the earlier side if you can. And then let me see if you guys had any other questions. Actually, somebody asked me about home base, I believe, like if that was a good option. I touched on that already. It's a nice because it's a one-stop shop. You have your hotel taken care of, your shuttle packages, and then you have like pre-parties and after parties, and they booked some really big artists this year as well. So like I said, I'll probably be popping over there for like an after, like experience one night, but bring earplugs is what I'll say. Bring earplugs because you're going to hear some shit through the walls and it's so loud. So is it worth going to? I think it's more of an expense. It depends on where you're coming from. If you're local, maybe not. But again, if you want all of that, if you're a big partier, like you want like fun around the clock, they have like a brunch, then I think it would be worth going to. What is the difference between EDC Las Vegas and EDC Orlando? So I did a video on this on my YouTube channel years and years and years ago. So I'm going to try and like recap it, but for the basics, the size of it, there's not much of a comparison. Vegas is absolutely massive. It's like 8 or 9 stages now, art cars, like it's an entire raceway. Orlando is, I don't want to say half the size, maybe it's about half the size, but Orlando is still very big. It's just not as much. It's around 4 stages. You still get a couple art cars. So that it has that's different. I would say also location, Orlando, super easy to get to. It's right in the middle of the city at Tinker Field. Vegas, it's a little bit more out there. You have the strip and then, you have to drive a ways out there to get to the raceway. So that kind of like makes it feel like you're in the middle of the desert. It's like a cool vibe. So location, Orlando, I would say is easier to get in and out of. The cities are both cool. I feel like you still have a lot of things to do outside of them. Vegas, though, probably wins for me just because it's Vegas and you have the strip and you have Camp EDC, which is really cool. Orlando does not have camp as an option. So that's a big difference. But I would say similarities. Again, some of the stages are the same. You get the same main stage design. Stereo Bloom is typically the same. A lot of the artwork and art installations and interactive things and art cars are the same. Again, I feel that same energy, which is why I like going to both. Like the production is top notch, the drone show, a lot of the decor and decoration and the performers is all that like EDC Vegas vibe. The plur, the crowd is really fun. So there are elements and the energy of it and the production, I would say, are very, very similar, but Vegas is like the Super Bowl version. You know what I mean? It's just like Vegas is just like indescribable. You don't have the helicopters going overhead and the crazy fireworks show every single night that Vegas has. But it's a great entry festival. And if you love all those things about Vegas and you just want it on a smaller scale that's easy to get to and not nearly fucking as expensive, then I would say Orlando is a good option for you. Okay, let me see if I missed any other questions. Okay, last few questions that came in through Instagram. Can you walk to the festival from a hotel that's a mile away? So could you? Yes. Would I? I'm not sure. I'm not local, but I do remember the area not being the best right around there. Depending on if you're parking, like I know some people had gotten like their cars broken into and stuff. So it depends on where you're at and if you're with a group. If you're with like a big group of people and you're not that far away, you could. But I'm going to err on the side of caution and say maybe just Uber personally and just go early and leave early. Somebody said, is it time to go yet? We're so close. We're a couple weeks, less than a month away. So we're getting there. Are you going this year? Fave B2B announced. So yes, I am going this year. Of course, I'm going all 3 days with Beatbox and then Fave back to back. Let's talk about the lineup in just a second. I forgot to mention that. Somebody said, how efficient are the shuttles? How often do they leave during the day? This is my first time using them. They're honestly super efficient. Again, if you're going to if you're staying at a hotel that has the shuttles on the as a stop, typically they'll either, I think they might post shuttle times. If not, they run pretty consistently, but I would just check like the shuttle, check into the shuttle and stuff when you get there. And then same thing leaving the festival, like they run pretty consistently. Is it hot or cold and rainy during this time? Rain could possibly happen at any time. I've been at EDCO when it's been super fucking hot. I've been at EDCO when it's rained and I've worn a poncho all night long and where it's gotten like a little bit colder. So I definitely prepare for it to be really hot. I bring layers for nighttime and I pack a poncho to prepare for all 3 of those. What stage is dubstep? Circuit Grounds is going to be your stage. Is it worth it from an out-of-state point of view? 1,000%. Like I said, best bang for your buck. I travel from New Jersey. Even if you're coming from the West Coast, yes, I would say so. Are there afters? It ends so early. Yes, there are afters. So like I mentioned, Homebase does afters that you can buy passes to. And then I think the Vanguard is one of the locations, but there are official EDC Orlando afters at local venues in Orlando. I did that what year? I think in 2022 I did that, and it was Armin van Buuren played the Vanguard, and I went to that, and it was really fun. Am I doing home base? No, I'm not staying at home base. I'm staying about like 20 minutes away from Orlando. Your girl is going for work and I need my sleep. So home base was not for me this year. What shoes am I wearing? I think I'm probably bringing my black combat boots. I try now if I'm traveling, I'm like, Emma, just stick to one pair of shoes. You don't need to bring multiple. So I'm going to try and just bring one pair of black combat boots, I think. How do I go about working with beatbox at festivals? So if you guys want to apply, we have a program called the Beats program. Those are our paid, like contracted, like brand ambassadors. So we hire those based on location. So it just completely depends on where you live. I don't think we're hiring any in Florida right now, but basically our beats in that area can sign up to work EDC Orlando for us. We have some amazing beats, but you guys can go onto our LinkedIn and look for Beats brand ambassador and you can apply for that. What keeps you coming back to EDC Orlando? So I touched on this a little bit, but I would just say again, the production, the theming, the energy, the performers, like all of that, and the music, of course, like the lineup diversity, all of like the things that I would get at EDC Vegas. And it's just super manageable and fun, and I've had the best memories there. It's just like the perfect storm of like everything I love. So I just keep coming back because I just think it's a really great quality festival, and I get a lot out of the weekend for a city festival. How would I rate the VIP experience? I do really like VIP at EDCO. I do think it's worth it. The sections are fucking huge. It's very convenient to navigate things, especially I've hidden the circuit grounds area, VIP area when it's rained because it's covered. So like, it's just nice to have that elevated experience, I would say. Okay. Last up, we didn't talk about the lineup at all, but they've started announcing the stage by stage lineup. So I'm just going to talk about that really quickly. I think we have all 4 of them now. So I'm just going to let you know, like, probably where I'm going to be at, because I mean, I'm waiting for set times because then we'll like really know. But again, I'm going to be like working, so we'll see what we can see. But from what I remember, Stereo Bloom on Friday was like speaking to my soul. So it's fun to see like who is playing what stage. Okay, I'm going to start with main stage. Again, these are just my personal recommendations and who I would want to see based on like who I've seen in the past and so on and so forth. So for Kinetic Field main stage on Friday, the people I would probably go see would be Cascade, back-to-back Alice in Wonderland. They're 2 absolutely legendary artists, and I've never seen that before. Also, Oliver Heldens, B2B, Benny Benassi. Oliver is one of my favorite acts of all time, and I fucking love him, and that is a special back-to-back. So probably the 2 back-to-backs there. Fisher and Pickle, I would say, would be really good ones, but I have a feeling I'll probably be at other stages. So for me, Friday, probably just those back-to-backs. Saturday, Dylan Francis back-to-back Disco Lines. For sure to want to see. Oh my God, I keep forgetting Eric Prydz is going to be there. Guys, I literally forgot Eric Prydz was going to be at EDC Orlando. I could cry right now. I thought I wasn't going to see him until Groove Cruise, and he was playing Seismic, and I was so sad I was missing him. Never mind. We're fine. Eric Prydz is playing a sunset set. That's going to be a vibe. That's going to be really fun. I feel like when I see him, it's always at the creature hour in the middle of the night. But Prydz, no brainer, not moving. Matroda and Morton, I actually really do love, and Tiesto's really fun, but I may end up at Kinetic Field a lot on Saturday. Let's see. On Sunday, 1000% AC Slater back-to-back Chris Lorenzo. That's one of the most fun sets you will ever fucking see, and that is a sunset set as well. Maybe Illenium. I haven't caught a full Illenium set in a really long time, so maybe Illenium. Maddox, absolutely love. If you guys are into techno and trance, go see Maddox. Slander, we love. Space 92 is playing. Oh, God. And you have the Worship set. Okay, this is the thing. I don't spend, like, any time at all at Kinetic Field at Vegas anymore. Like, I'm just literally never there anymore. But at EDCO, since there's only 4 stages, I feel like I get to fully take in the stage design because I didn't really. So Sunday, honestly, the AC Slater back-to-back Chris Lorenzo, probably Illenium, Maddox, Slander, Space 92, and the Worship set, which is the drum and bass B4B to end all B4Bs. Yeah, that's an absolute non-negotiable for me personally. Circuit Grounds, I'm not going to have a lot. Friday and Saturday are presented by Bass Rush. So if I had to pick someone on Friday, I would probably say Hamdi and Troy Boy. Jessica Audifred is fantastic as well. But that would probably be my options. I mean, you have Zed's Dead, Black Tiger, Sex Machine. Like, you have amazing artists. I just don't listen to them really. Saturday, probably Ray Volpe, Netsky, Zomboy. And then Sunday is probably the only time I'm going to go to Circuit Grounds. You've got John Summit, Slander Presents Before Dawn, which is their techno project. You have Mathame or Mathame. I always forget how you say their name. Mathame. Now P, my boy. You have Enzo. You have Mary Droppins. You have Alesso. I'm going to be between Circuit Grounds and Kinetic Field on Sunday. I have a feeling there's going to be some really bad conflicts on Sunday. And then Neon Garden. Oof, Friday, Carl Cox, back-to-back Vintage Culture. Fuck me up, fam. That's a non-negotiable. I hope that doesn't conflict with anything. Nick Fansuli is amazing. Nicole Mudaber, Honey Love, back-to-back Bonton, A Vision, like all amazing. Saturday is presented by Club Space. I would probably say Joseph Capriati and Mochak. Maybe even Layla Benitez. And then Sunday, Amelie Lenz. I Hate Models, Kling Kunstler, and Patrick Mason. Bro. If you love techno, like heavy techno, that is going to be a treat. Oh man, I'm going to be running back to back from stage to stage. It's going to be interesting. I'll give you guys my full like breakdown once the set times are out. And then Stereo Bloom, Friday is my fucking jam. You have Max Styler, Sunset Set. Who's the Sunset Set on Friday at Kinetic Field? Because I remember there was a good one. Diplo. Okay, we're fine. Okay, so Friday, Max Styler, Sunset, non-negotiable, fucking love him. Noizu, absolute one of my favorites. Wax Troda, Wax Motif, back-to-back Matroda, Odd Mob, and To Be Honest. Riordan, I'm going to be living at Stereo Bloom on Friday. Saturday, I would say not as many people. Calusa, Clooney, Blondish, Ameme, back-to-back Honey Love. Sunday is your trance day. Lucio, Vinny Vici, Giuseppe Ottaviani, Cosmic Gate, Gareth Emery. You got a lot. You got a lot of really good options. It's going to be hard. I have a feeling set time conflicts are going to be really fucking rough for this one, you guys. So anyway, that is your guide to EDC Orlando. I know I talked your ear off, but doing this episode just got me really excited, and seeing that lineup again just got me so pumped. So I honestly can't wait. I hope to see you there. Again, as of right now, mark your calendars. Saturday, November 9th, 4:30 to 5:30 pretty much, I will be at the Beatbox booth. We're going to do a fam meetup at 4:30, and then at 5 o'clock, we're going to be judging the Beatbox Totem competition. So like, come on by. It's going to be really fun. You'll see familiar faces there, I promise. So yeah, and then what else? I mean, I think that's the main stuff. If you guys want to go watch my old EDC Orlando vlogs on my personal channel, Emma Capotis, check out my vlogs from 2019, 2021, and 2022 so you can see how everything was. I have videos up on Homebase if you want to see what that is like. But yeah, go check out all that stuff. It's going to be so much fun. Give me a follow at Emma Capotis and at Rave Culture Cast. I will be posting outfit ideas. I will be posting what I'm wearing, what sets I'll be at, like all that good stuff. But I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.